Hey guys, Yummey here, and today we're continuing with some lovely Rush. But this time we're playing on Caspian border and our focus will be on the attack jet. Some people hate them, some people love them. I think they're awesome and a nice addition to the game, and it's too bad they are only implemented in Rush, which is sadly kind of dead in BF3. You may argue that the cannon is overpowered, and yeah, you're completely right. It's ridiculous how powerful it is, no doubt about it. But at the same time, it's quite easy to shoot the jet down with, for example, RPGs, since the plane is fairly slow and doesn't have afterburner. Anyway, my load of this time is rocket pods, ECM jammer and air radar. And as I'm using the attack jet, my first priority should always be the tanks after the air vehicles, and try to support the teammates on the ground as much as possible. But unfortunately there weren't too many people on the server, so the match was kind of slow in the beginning. The server also became a bit unbalanced for the defenders, so right now I decided to switch teams and help them out. But for some reason I couldn't switch teams, so I had to rejoin the match. A bit annoying, but yeah, what can you do? Luckily, I could spawn right in the frog foot and started about as fast as possible, and after killing the transport heavy, I got into a dogfight with the other jet and the pilot was fairly good. I got into an advantageous position quite fast and the other jet starts performing rolling scissors to shake me off. And you probably should have continued with the scissors because now I'm getting shots into him, and at this point I was quite confident to win the dogfight since I noticed the other jet makes minor mistakes regularly, which makes me able to get a few hits on him and can now finally shoot him down. So with both the jet and the transporter down, it's time to attack the tanks to help out as much as possible. Since the cannon on the attack jet is so powerful, using the rocket pods on tanks is kind of unnecessary when the cannon can kill one in a short burst. But I'm still using the rocket pods since they are great for killing infantry and light armored vehicles that may be hard to hit with the cannon. Keeping away from heat seekers is recommended in jets unless you are completely new to the game. But if you want to improve as a pilot, learn to fly without them, as it's much more beneficial to use the rocket pods when you learn to shoot down air vehicles with the cannon quite easily. Also try to use the third person as much as possible when flying and shooting for higher field of view. An exception of course will be when aiming for ground targets, since that doesn't really matter, but just keep an eye on the air radar or the landing strip if the enemy jet is down. And here I have a great example of showing how powerful the cannon actually is. I spot both tanks, and now let's add some slow motion. And yeah, I managed to take down both tanks in one pass using only the cannon, which is pretty ridiculous if you ask me. And now they are bringing out the stingers, and I already used my ECM, so my only option was to dodge the missile by first locating where it was coming from, then turn into its direction at the right moment. This is very useful and isn't too hard when you've done it a few times. Just remember that it gets harder the closer the stingers fire from you. And as you saw, I managed to dodge 2 more stingers, and I was lucky that they were fired with so little time between them. And now it's time to find where these stingers are coming from. I spot 3 people on the hilltop, which seem to be the guys I'm looking for, and this is a moment when the rocket pods come in great use. It's just so effective at infantry. And now the jet is up again, and I decide to avoid the head-on since it usually ends badly for both pilots, but this time it only ended badly for one. As you may know, I've been flying a lot of jet in both BF3 and BF4, and while both games represented jets in their own way, I must say that I've never had this much fun in a public match in a long time with the jets. It's just something about the attack jets in BF3 that's a little more special. Maybe it's because they have such an important role and that they are, or at least should be, specifically good at two things: taking out the tanks and give close air support. Maybe it's just me, but I would like all the vehicles to have a certain role and be good at only one or two things to force teamwork. They do already have a role to an extent, but for example the conquest jets and attack helis are just so versatile and can kill just about everything without too much trouble. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to be completely defenseless against something else. It feels like they tried to experiment this in BF4 with the jets, but somehow they ended up being bad at nearly everything except of shooting down each other. And while the jets are bad, the mobile AA became an anti-everything, so it's all just about trial and error and maybe listen to the community. I don't know, I just hope that these won't be any problems in the next Battlefield game. Anyway, the jet is up again and I tried to avoid the head-on, but he managed to do some damage anyway. But oh boy, look at this lucky disable I got on him. Things like that are just so satisfying this game and definitely makes me want to come back and play it. I'm still trying to fulfill my role, so I try to spot the tanks and destroy them. That way it will be harder for the attackers when they make the last push. But the attackers only have a few tickets left now, so it looks like a win for us and we will soon be victorious. It was unfortunate that the server was so unbalanced in the beginning, but that actually led to a challenging and fun time when we were defending the second base. And even when the attackers have a hard time with the tanks, their team still carry on and don't complain. Huge respect to them, and they're actually making a great final push now at end, but they are just a bit too late. Definitely a good game for both teams, and I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed to make it. And once again, thank you so much for watching. See ya!